Ride me good, boys, ride me good.
Oh, yeah. I'll be gentle, baby. Please,
Welcome back to a new episode of the No Rep Podcast, episode number 56.
Maybe 5.
I'm with the usual daubers,
Hello.
Evan and Danny,
What's
but
happening?
we have a special guest here, Thomas Augustus.
Close.
Close?
Augustitis.
Nah, miles away.
Actual?
Aye.
Nah, that's what everyone goes for.
Augustitis?
Augaitis.
Augaitis.
That was my next
Sorry,
guess.
sorry.
That was my
my
next
fault. Do you know what? Probably should have done my research and found out what the guest's actual name is before getting him on. But anyway, so otherwise known as Tam the Doug, Pack Performance, the Doghouse, whatever you want.
Papa Wolf.
Aye, Papa Wolf, whatever, man, whatever. But thanks for coming down. Really appreciate it.
Nice
mate.
one. I'm
Really
buzzing for
appreciate
this. I'm buzzing.
But I was just saying before we got on, obviously we actually jumped up to your gym yesterday because I wanted to come and check out. It's been a wee bit in the works actually because I've been wanting to come down for a while. And but it was actually in the old gym, your first gym, the weird gym that I wanted to go down to, but then you just seem to keep growing and there's another gym now, you're knocking down walls and all sorts, so things are happening quite quick. Things are happening quite quick.
Yeah, for sure. Happening quicker than I'd expected. First gym was like 3-year plan, and then it's like, we'll see what happens, and then before you know it, you're just like, fuck, we are running out of space. We're getting noise complaints from the council. They're trying to fine us £400, shit like that. Can't park here. Like, it was getting heated. Council were around like recording noise levels, decibel
Shut
levels,
up.
stuff like that.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, major. And that was from like
Council grasses.
Exactly.
Aye.
And that was houses in front, houses behind.
Oh, so this was in the first gym?
Yeah.
Where
the first
was
gym.
like that? Where was the first gym?
So that was in Renfrew. It was on this street where it was like a bunch of like kind of lockups, like garages. I had a garage left and right of me, and then a dance studio as well. But imagine like big roller shutter, just industrial vibes.
Aye.
So, but the problem was, and I don't know how this happened, they managed to build like these houses pretty much in the same street. So our buildings here, you've got houses directly across.
Fuck that.
I know. So getting the unit, I was like, is this going to work? We were up early. I was like, there's a dance studio there.
Should
Let's
be
just
fine.
go for it. So we're in, things are going well, training's happening, neighbours are being noisy, oh, is this a gym, stuff like that. And I think what happens is, before you know it, instead of the neighbours coming across and just going, look, noise is a bit loud here, do you mind, blah blah blah, I think they just try and play it cool, and then the noise continues and then they just lose it. And it's
Aye.
not even a point of coming over now. It's
Straight
just
to the council.
Straight to the council. It's
Fact.
fuck you and don't fucking park there. Shit like that.
Oh.
Before you know it, you're like, you were sound a month ago, but now
it's
now
a
it's on
problem.
Facebook and there's Facebook statuses and stuff.
Doghouse.
Moz on Facebook. I
Yeah.
suppose these are
Fucking
probably
neighbourhood watch, man.
Aye,
Yeah.
these are probably only the small handful of problems that you'll have. Probably trying to start a gym, build a gym, all these sorts of things. But I'm quite keen on finding out about like what led you to even opening a gym in the first place, because you weren't always, from what I gather on just from social media, because that's how we've essentially met, was through social media, like messaging backwards and forwards over the past 6-9 months, something like that.
Has it been that long?
Probably,
Yeah, maybe.
innit?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
about
yeah.
maybe even like a year, just like random
Been
messages,
flirting for a while.
story replies.
He's been eyeing me
I've-
up. He's been eyeing me.
I've been eyeing him up, man. I've
Couple
been,
dick pics.
been licking my lips, man, in the DMs. A few flame emojis and that. But, aye. Wait, where was I going with that? What was I just saying there?
Kind of how we got into it.
Aye. So, like, how did you even start, like, to get to the point where you were opened the gym in the first place?
So what happened was, I initially got into running and was doing some, like running events, done some kind of big ultras a good few years ago, and that's when, like, not to say nobody was running, but running just wasn't cool back then.
Nah,
You know,
wasn't it?
You've got the UVU boys now and they're spicing up the running, everyone's wearing some cool gear and shit. Just back then
Running's sexy now.
it just wasn't sexy back then. So after some events, we done like a 5-day ultra in Jordan. I done it to raise money for charity and stuff, and just got good attraction on social media. But what was happening was like just constant messages of, oh, I wish I could run, can you help me, and stuff like that. I think I was still doing my apprenticeship at the time, but like the messages were like overwhelming, the amount of people reaching out, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, it's like simple, you just run. And then so me and my mate, one of my best mates, Chris, who done the run, we were like, I said to him, I was like I think this could be something, like, let's start something here. And then it just kind of initially started with a run club, like a free run club on a Sunday. Like, ended up, started with like 5 bodies, 10 bodies, turn around, there's fucking 35 people behind me on a Sunday running. Just taking a slow, easy pace through Erskine. And then before you know it, it was just starting to build. I was loving training at that point because I'd just got into functional training to benefit like the running. So I was enjoying the training so much, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I was waking up every morning thinking about training. Straight after work, I was going in training, like my fucking cock was throbbing for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was just it. I was Snapchatting about running, like this, that, and the next thing. And so it was like, yeah, so that happened. And then I was doing my apprenticeship. I was so unhappy in it, like genuinely depressed.
What was it in?
It was a joinery apprenticeship with BAE Systems, which are shipbuilding. They build like Navy ships and Govan.
I've got family that work for them.
So massive company, like, see if you get in there, like you could just sit there for life and just get a wage, do all the pensiony stuff like that. But like when you go there, like I think because they're like a government backed company, they've got so much money, they overemploy. Yeah. So like there's really not much for you to be doing. So it's a lot of sitting up for me, a lot of sitting about, a lot of just doing nothing. Like, no joke, you'd go into the pisser and people are sleeping, like just there's fuck all to do. So for me, I was looking about going like, is this my life now for the rest of? And you had like old guys like saying, just ride out and get your pension. And
that's some people's dream though, isn't it?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Fucking.
So that
but it is the chat though when you leave schools. Get an apprenticeship, get a job at like such and such company, and you're set, mate. You're cool. That's the chat, innit?
It was just like so forced upon, and then that was freaking me out because I was looking about going, is everyone around me fucking crazy right now? Like genuinely, I started to get like really panicky, like freaking out. Like, how can we just sit about and do nothing? I've got fucking 50 years. I was going nuts, and it was leading into Christmas. And I was just thinking, I cannot see me coming back here after Christmas. So what I'd done was, like during Christmas, I was like that to my dad, look, I don't think I can go back there. And he was just looking at me like, nah, you're going back there. And then it was like a couple of days before going back, I was like, listen, mate, like, no. And he was like, fuck. So
I bet he was thinking it. And so at this point, did you have any sign of like the gym or clients or the run club at this stage?
At this point, what I'd actually done was quite a few people had asked me about training stuff because I converted my garage at that point into
I think I remember
tiny wee gym.
Yeah.
Probably like the size of this room, to be fair. So I was training there, and then I started training a couple of friends, doing like 1-to-1 stuff, just kind of showing them kind of what I'd learned. Like at that point, I knew more than a lot of people, but as a coach, I didn't know much. I could just take them through like a healthy workout, functional healthy workout. But people were enjoying it, so I was training maybe like 3 people. Coming home from work, doing my training, then grafting a couple of PTs. That's what I was doing. So into Christmas, like my dad was like, right, like money wise, you need to go off on the sick, and I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to like cut ties.
Right, okay.
But with obviously that company, you've got like a really good sick policy. I mean, I'm like 5 months paid or something like that.
You must have been really unwell.
Yeah, so
really unwell.
Dad forced me into it. He forced me, and then that's kind of what happened. Went off work. And at that point I was like, whoa, this is like a crazy risk, like what am I doing? I genuinely thought I was a crazy motherfucker. I was like,
well, you are a bit though, to be fair, you are a bit.
It's just like, because I thought like there's no going back now, but when you think about it, I'm getting a wage from work, I'm getting PTs paying me, I was fucking loaded. I was sitting going, this is nuts. So just started to build, and then posting stuff on stories. And then at that point, it was like, right, need to get more serious about this, get my qualifications, of course. So I started doing that in the background, get my PT qualifications and things like that, which, to be honest, did I learn much through that? Not really. Did I fuck?
We spoke about
fucking
that a lot,
in depth.
How to use a leg extension?
Oh, so much.
It's not worth the fucking paper it's written on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
for me, nah.
Like you learn by actually having your mates in the gym.
Oh, definitely,
like,
mate.
This is what we're doing.
100%.
And hearing from them.
Exactly. So I was just building on that, and then where I lived, my dad, he was renting, and we were getting papped out because they wanted to sell the house. So we ended up going further towards like Greenock, past Greenock, to a place called Inverkip. But I was currently getting PT'd off my mate Andy in Greenock, like 1-2 sessions a week. He helped me train for like the ultra and stuff, like an amazing coach. Andy, like up there, like
shout out Andy.
the goat.
Andy what?
Shout out Andy. Andy Urban Fit, right? So he's a boy, and then he was licking his lips at this point. I was wondering why he was getting so excited about me moving down to Inverkip. I was like, it doesn't really make a difference. It's the same distance to the gym, but he likes to go travelling. So he was eyeing up going travelling through Europe for 6 weeks,
right.
And he then asked me, look, would you come and run the classes in the gym? So his gym's pretty much to my gym right now, a very, very similar setup.
Right.
So I managed to, he asked me to help him out, and what it really done was it helped me out amazingly. You know, that was like chucked in at the deep end, doing group sessions for people who'd been training for a while. So I got to learn about taking sessions, how to adapt sessions, do you know what I mean? Am I going too far? Do I need to rein it in? So learned so much throughout that. Can't thank him enough, and as well, he paid me for that. So like that just kind of set me up really well, and just learned so much. Like obviously it was a nervous point, because I was asking him hundreds of questions. Do you want this? Do you want that? He was like, just do your own thing. Do your own thing. Because at the end of the day, what I've learned is like we'll go through maybe like a 4-month stunt in the gym, but see, bringing someone fresh in, like Demi, to just do a different wee spice on a session. People love the change and the mix up and stuff. So just taught me like so much. Then at that point, you know, I was saying to Andy, I was like, right, this is what I want to do. On top of like Andy's classes, I started pulling in my own clients, but they were all from up through Paisley, Renfrew area. Right. And then I was doing group sessions in the evening. So I ran his sessions. Then afterwards I would do my own sessions with clients I'd managed to pull in. So I just trying to build, because the end goal was always get a gym. For me, it was never wanting to be like, you know, on the floor in someone else's gym.
So that was all from the get-go, that was the vision?
Yeah, as soon as I started, I was like, I can't, because I had the wee garage, I was like, I'm not, as well, like what put me off was my previous employment, bosses, right, and just being a number, and just being a bitch, really, like just getting told what to do and stuff like that. I just knew, like, I just did not want to do that. So I'd been eyeing it up and thinking about it, and then I was just constantly online looking for a unit. And then it was just as Andy's getting back, I've managed to secure a unit. Like the timings were just impeccable, like everything was just lining up. And to be fair to Andy, he was gutted. He was like, oh, I was going to use you, we were going to do this and that. And I was like, mate, I need to go. He's like, no, I appreciate that. Because as well, like, and like for my target market, you'd say all the people that even followed me on Instagram from the get-go and stuff was from Renfrew, Erskine, all back through there. So I couldn't have been any longer down there. People were travelling half an hour, 40 minutes down to Greenock, and it was just wasn't working, you know, for the long run. Even taking my own clients down to his gym. So just started progressing like that. Eventually pulled the trigger on a unit. Shout out to like Crypto Glasgow, XRP, like that's how I ended up getting dough to like kind of fund this mission.
That's mad.
Took some ballsy moves, like took a bank loan, spent it on crypto, like that's what I done. So I had money there.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was just luck, like
it's not though, but because like the thing is, I think everybody at that time could have been armed with that information, like oh, you should buy this, or oh, you should leave your job and do it. Like everybody can be armed with these with the same resources, but it takes somebody with a bit of balls to actually do the action. Because when were we last talking about that?
What about crypto? No,
not about crypto, but they actually, like, it's not about the luck thing, it's about the action thing. I can't remember if it was a podcast or two ago, but it was like, it's literally like everybody can have, well, we all did.
Yeah,
like,
information without implementation is useless.
Exactly, it's useless. Yeah. It's not luck. It's not luck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you know yourself, like the hype behind crypto and stuff, like, it was good to get sucked into that. It taught me a lot as well. You know, I've lost money through crypto, I've made money, but learning all that and then what I'm going to do now through business and maybe other investments, you know, very good. Especially from a young age, do you know what I mean? Only being like 20 and seeing what that's done. So yeah, and like you were saying, it was like a lot of pressures and stuff. You know, I remember like telling my mum, listen, I'm going to open a gym, and she literally looked at me and laughed in my face. But see, that for me, like, never forget it, and it just ignited what it was. I was like, fuck you, bitch. Like, fucking say that again. Do you know what I mean? Say
Get
that again.
dinner on.
I open a gym, you cow. I know. Fucking watch me. Like, those wee things, those wee moments that you just will just die. They do it for me, you know.
I think it's quite cool that you had someone as well have enough trust in you at the start to be like, to chuck you in, to basically expose you to being able to be like, right, here's how you run sessions, here's how you do these things, and expose you to. I think we've all maybe had someone like that where you get given a handful of clients off them because they're leaving or they're busy or whatever. Like, I know I had that from the boys that own the CrossFit gym, allowing me to come in and coach their classes right after they were standing in the back watching, and it's the most nervous I've ever been at the start.
Feeling judged.
Just being judged the whole time, but you learn so much more through that than like the PT qualifications and whatnot that we were kind of saying.
How long, I'm trying to kind of put time scales together, so how long has that been from like when you started to like now? How many years is that?
Well, so basically I just got a memory getting memories right now from a year ago when my friend Chris ran through Moab. So basically what happened was I'd opened up the gym in the first unit for maybe a couple of weeks, 5 members, like, and then we had to go to Moab, so had to close the gym. I had a member taking sessions just to keep it running. So we opened the gym for a couple of weeks, had to go to Moab, and then returning from Moab was like, right, now we're opening the gym, you know. But at this point, the unit wasn't big, but I only had half the flooring. I had like not even the proper racks installed yet, dumbbells just lying on the floor. It was just like a space where we went and trained. So really, we've been doing it now for like a year. So coming back from Moab as well, I remember a lot of imposter syndrome and stuff like that, because coming back, I remember like I had all this money saved up. We've started this gym with 5 members. Obviously, I'm not even covering rent at this point. And it's like, right, we've only got this much in the account. If we don't get enough members within the first 3 weeks that we're back, this is not looking good.
Fucked.
Yeah,
Back to mum.
Yeah, and honestly, mate, before we returned for the States, we had to go back to Copenhagen where Chris's flat was. And I think me and my mate Billy, we just got on it, because I was like, I do not want to fucking think about that. We just went out, we got on it for a few days, because I was feared up. I was genuinely shit myself to come back and to graft and to reel people into like the dream. Do you know what I mean? Like I was constantly thinking, why would they come and train at this gym, this half empty gym? You know, all those 100%. Those creeping thoughts that you just cannot get out your head.
So did you recognise that at the time when you went out and you were like, or were you just like in denial mode at that stage?
Picking yourself apart.
Yeah, it was just, I can't even really remember. I can just remember those thoughts being so overwhelming that I was thinking of ways to actually like just call it. I'm like, right,
was it a bit like, see if I don't try I can't fail kind of thing, or?
Nah, it was
just avoidance.
Yeah, it was just total avoidance. It was just totally shitting yourself, like totally shitting yourself. Because I listened to something the other day. It was like, just like everyone's so embarrassed of like failure to the public. You know what I mean? If you were going to fail and no one knew about it, you would definitely 100% try it. But like that, everything being so public and everything I was posting the journey on Instagram, building the gym and stuff like that fear was just had me by the balls. And I'm okay to admit that, like I would have been embarrassed to fail, but I guess that's on the flip side what pushed me, like embarrassment to fail and just wanting to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. No, that's mad. But coming back, I want to kind of backtrack a wee bit. So you mentioned obviously you did an ultra in Jordan. You mentioned your friend, is it Chris?
Yeah.
Doing Moab and stuff like that. I know a wee bit about Moab just literally through Goggins and stuff like that. Talk a wee bit about how you got involved from, like, because it's obviously not just like, let me just sign up to do the Moab, or let me just sign up to do this. Was it 5 days or something like that in Jordan? Like, and obviously you know what it's like, Danny, jumping straight into the deep end running.
So when does running turn into like ultramarathons?
Yeah.
Basically.
I think, well, for me that happened when, I mean, I just met Chris on a run. Literally a guy connected us and we were like, yeah, let's hook up for a run. Went a run, came back like, that was pretty sweet. booked no, we didn't even book an event. We were just talking. We were like, do you know, it'd be quite cool just to do something pretty sick. And then he spoke about Jordan, and I was like, this guy's off his tits, man.
What had you done up until this point?
I think I'd ran a marathon unofficially.
Right. Okay.
I'd ran a marathon
unofficially as well,
unofficially,
right?
yeah. Just done unofficially. Then just a lot of like long runs, but like again, just unofficial runs. And we were just talking about doing something sick. I'm sure Chris had just done it was a back-to-back marathon called the Hawaii 5-0 along the coast of Copenhagen. So that it was about 80k along the coast of Copenhagen.
Wow.
And I didn't even really know him at this point either, but he'd been dipping the toe because he'd been doing triathlons and stuff and a wee bit longer like stuff, endurance-wise. So it was him that was kind of pushing it. So I think naively he'd brought it up with a group of boys and we were just like, yeah, fuck it.
So that was your first official race?
No, my first, we'd booked that. That was probably my first one that I'd booked.
Oh, right.
But then we went for training. We should probably do. We should book. Yeah. So
I'd rather get running.
Yeah. We should probably do a 2-day one, instead of just going for 5. So we done that. We ended up booking a 2-day one, which was before it, and we used that as training. So that was up the north of Scotland, a good 2-day event. I'll try Scotland. So both by the same company, so it gave us a feel for the company, the layout of the races, how they stage it, right, and things like that. And then just obviously running long distance because that just wasn't happening. Like I hadn't ran anything more than a marathon, and then we were talking about running 5 back-to-back 5 marathons more.
So what is the race that you did in Jordan? What is that?
Jordan was 250 kilometres. It was through the desert. It was called the Wadi Rum Desert. And basically how it's staged is you only run a certain amount each day.
Right.
So they call it a stage race, and basically roughly every 10 kilometres you'll get a checkpoint where they'll offer you water. You've got water and a medical person there. So basically, say the first day, for example, was 46 kilometres or something. Roughly every 10k you'd have a checkpoint, and then you'd finish at 46 kilometres. The finish could either be a loop back to the same start, or it could have been somewhere else. So you'd run further into the desert, and they would transport your overnight bag, and you'd be there. You would then camp in the desert. Day 2, say you had another 40 odd k, same again, out to the desert. And then it was broken up like that. Some days, so maybe between like day 2 and day 3, you'd look back to the same campsite, or other days you'd finish at different campsites.
Right, got you.
But each day was broken up. I'm sure it was Wednesday was a long day, nearly hit 80 kilometres. I remember my watch was 107,000 steps that day.
Do you know, seeing in my head, the way my brain works, 80 kilometres, I'm like, I could do that. But see, if you were to put it in miles, I'd be like, nah, fuck that, definitely not. But the kilometres, I'm fine with that.
Baby, the Ks.
Yeah, easy. But 5 days back to back, no bother.
That's mad. It's definitely up your street, Danny?
100%.
Yeah.
What was it like? So you'd never ran sand before, except probably on the fucking beach?
Yep.
So what was that like?
So exactly, that's the thing,
I didn't even think about that, man.
So speaking to the race coordinators, they're like, nah, not that much soft sand. 80% of the race was soft sand. So yesterday you were talking about Marathon des Sables, right?
Yeah.
There was people pulling out of that race who have completed des Sables saying way more sand than Marathon des Sables.
Really?
Yeah.
And Marathon des Sables is meant to be like the fucking
the hardest desert race,
yeah.
Aye. So
Goat
people
desert.
were pulling out who'd completed that.
Fuck.
So
Mad,
running that, I was like, fuck, we're in the trenches here. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, like soft sand, like your feet are just running away from you. Totally zapped me. And like, for example, we had to like get our shoes specially tailored. With like, I forget what you call them, like covers, like gates.
Aye.
So there'd be Velcro along the perimeter of round your running shoe, and you'd Velcro like a gate up here, and it would strap up your shoe so no sand would go into your shoes. And I remember like arriving, it was you arrived to camp at night, and then you'd be running the next morning. At camp that night, there was a guy trying to super glue his gates on his trainers. I was like, mate, how the fuck have you not sorted this yet? It was just crazy, like how unorganised some people were.
Really?
Aye, I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Just winging it.
Those are,
Those
are the guys at the first checkpoint. They were sitting down, they get cramp and all that.
It's like people that even I underestimated it, but like the levels of underestimation going into something like that, I was looking at people going, you're just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Clueless.
What a waste of money, like pulling out
totally.
the first day because you've not even brought
It's an investment. It's a big
You'd be
investment.
raging at yourself as well.
Yeah.
I'd be so fucking annoyed if I fucked it in the first day.
Aye.
Some people are just daft. So you'd done that, completed that. I don't want to just gloss over that as if I done that, completed that. But obviously when you do these sorts of events, and no matter, I feel like how big or small these events are, and obviously you can speak on it about Murrayfield and you can speak on it like with the 60k you did, it's like there's always like, as soon as you do something like that, even though it's like fucking horrific during it, you're always like, what's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Like what we're doing after.
It's the hunger, innit?
What other ones have you kind of done similar to that, or like Moab and things like that?
Yeah, so my mate Chris competed at Moab last year, which is just like the creme de la creme, really, of like long distance racing at Cadogan's. Do you know what I mean? That was insane. Their races are a little bit different, where they don't stage it, so there's no limit to what you can run. If you want to go out and just run for 3 days and complete it like that, you can. Some of the people there, like, they're sick. You're just talking in amongst sick cookies. Do you know what I mean?
Different level.
Different level. But the events are great. Like, the way they organise them is a lot different. Each checkpoint, they've got barbecue, they've got breakfast food, electrolytes. They give you all these things. Whether at Ultra X it was only water, so you had to carry everything else. So a bit different. Obviously, price points for entering those races also a bit different. And then the crewing aspect as well is just different, because we had to, basically what we done for that was, imagine like we situated our base in an Airbnb in the centre, and the whole course ran circular around us. So we would be able to go out and crew Chris for a bit, come back to base if we needed to do anything, get a sleep or anything, then go back out and meet Chris. Obviously with it being the desert, the roads and navigation was a bit, but the good thing about that is you were allowed a pacer each day. So I paced a day, then my mate Steve done a day, I done the next day, then Steve done the last day. So Chris ran the first day himself and it took him 5 days, but we were allowed to chop in and help him those days. And it was just wild, absolutely wild.
Do you fancy taking that on yourself as well at some point?
Unfortunately, like, the running joke between me and him is he's done 240 miles. So now you need to up it. So you get Cadogan 250,
right,
which is through the desert in Arizona, I believe. I think that's on next year's.
Aye. For yourself?
For myself.
Let's go, man. 250.
But again, like, talking what, like, you know, Chris spent to take us a lot of money, like a lot of money, you know, flights, travel. We had to get a couple of flights for that one. Crew, we took a physio. We took a chiropractor as well. A lot of people never had that. We just wanted to go prepared. We wanted the dub. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
We were very, very tactical. Like, very tactical. What was happening was we were making sure Chris was getting a decent sleep every night. Where other people just truck through, right? Just like people's plans genuinely are walk for 3 days and then just try and see it out. We naps walk. It's crazy. So what was happening was we were kind of hitting a plod. Chris would get asleep, and those people that were walking would overtake Chris, but then we would plod by them again during the day. They would be fucked. Chris would be a lot fresher, and then it was just kind of happening, and then slowly but surely Chris was just kind of climbing the ladder. People were falling off. It was crazy how people go and tackle them. And then even bumping into a few people that were going for the Triple Crown, which is the 3 big ones, which is 3 200 milers, like they're like back to back in the summer as well, only a couple of months apart.
Wow.
Like, it's just next level. These people like you're talking to,
it's fucking chaos, man.
It's chaos, mate.
That's nuts. That's
you think about the investment into these races. These people are spending 50 grand that year to go smash these races. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I've ever ran 200 miles in my life.
No, I definitely haven't, and I quite like running.
That's not a joke. I've been deadly serious.
Aye.
Wild, man.
Oh, fucking.
That's the thing as well. I think that one of the big things about these races is the logistics behind it, that people like me, like I'm interested in these races, but the logistics that go behind it, not got a fucking Scooby. Like, where do you even start or begin to start?
Just, did you ever kind of, when you're kind of doing these things, like, does your thoughts ever going to go to like how you can get like kind of marginal gains or anything like that? So like, for example, like, have you ever done any like kind of altitude running, or is it always like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the recovery lounge where I go to, they do, it's not altitude running, but they do, it's altitude technology where you wear the mask but you're still in the seat, and what it does, it simulates taking you up to altitude. So I know a few people have done that. I actually done it when I had a bad, I don't know what was wrong with my chest, I can't confirm, a chest infection,
China virus.
but he said it could potentially help you recover quicker, so I've used it for that. Did it help me recover quicker? Fuck knows.
Is it a placebo?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know there's a few people who go do base camp, they go use it. I've got a mate going to do base camp soon, he was asking me about it and things like that. I was always trying to catch a treadmill in a sauna, but unfortunately I was contacting universities and stuff, they never got back to me. So the best way is kind of sucked. Best way is probably, you know, quick treadmill session, then into the sauna up at like the Bowfield where I go for a sauna. So I'll start to introduce that in a couple of weeks before I go to Morocco. Other than that, like, I sauna all the time though, so that will be helping. I spoke to a guy in Jordan, Stephen Feeney, a great coach. He was going for a run and coming back and sitting in a boiling bath, he said. Like, so straight from a run, straight into a boiling bath and just sitting there for half an hour just to get his body used to being at those high temperatures. And he smashed that event, so you could, like, I don't think there's a coincidence between like that.
Heat acclimations is a real thing.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
It is a real thing. Like, I remember even watching like things from like the CrossFit Games and old CrossFit documentaries, and like a lot of these guys that are really good are like from Iceland and shit like that, but they spend a fuck ton of time in saunas. So they're like used to hot cold, so their body's used to these mad temperature like fluctuations. So one of the guys is this event that, well, Murph, everybody knows the workout Murph, this Icelandic guy, BKG at the time, and he was like dead young, and it was either his first or second year at the games, won that event. But you get people who live in America, fucking a woman from Australia bailed out from heat exhaustion. You're like, she's from Australia, mate. How's she bailing out from heat exhaustion? And then this wee Icelandic cunt's fucking running, just beating everybody and just doing it. So heat acclimation and heat training is like it's a very real thing, especially if you're fucking spending 5 days out in the desert, man.
Even here you feel it, you're running through winter to when the temperatures go up, all of a sudden you can't breathe the same. You can't nose breathe as much. Like, you start to go, fucking hell, like, you feel even that. Never mind definitely, Jordan, the desert.
I notice about you though as well, just about through the things through socials, is you are quite regimented. Like, you're very like you're up early, supplements, eating, drinking raw eggs, fucking like doing all this mad shit. Like, have you always kind of been that way, like routine wise, or have you had to craft that over the years?
No, definitely crafted it. It was my coach Andy, like, again, amazing. He dialed me into, he did dial me into nutrition. So training for Jordan, like, I was on my nutrition, making all my meals, things like that. And then in the shipyards I was already kind of getting up early, but then I was getting up a wee bit earlier and running before work, so it kind of started from that. But it's just like, it's work now. Work has me up at 4:30. Like, if I'm not turning up to the gym, there's 25 people sitting outside the gym wanting to get in. You know?
Sorry, trips.
Exactly. Like, so right now for business, it's just like grind until I can take some people on, take that pressure off, maybe get a lie in once or twice a week, which would be nice. In the gym this morning, people are like, "Oh, you're tired." And I'm like, "Yeah, fucking damn right I am."
No shit, it's 5
I've done
o'clock.
this a few times. This is my fifth fucking time this week.
Fucking damn right.
Speaking on your gym, you've managed to build like quite the community and quite the fucking vibe in your place. Yeah, tribe. I mean, guys are with you, man. They're marching with the colours, and I think, as obviously all three of us are coaches, like, it's something you can't just not respect when you see somebody who has like a gang of people who like just live and breathe like your brand in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's not even just like as Tam, it's like it's packed performance. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's cool. So it's just cool to see how that's kind of become a thing.
Sorry, I was actually watching one of your videos and I was fucking buckled. A lassie barked in it. And I was like,
Sam at the end.
It's just like,
so good, mate. Like, so good.
Like, how was that? Was that by accident? Was that the plan?
I don't know. I think like externally, like people force things like that upon us, because you know what it's like. I feel like people's insecurities drawing them away from the gym. We would hear comments like, "Oh, do they all bark at each other down the gym?" And we'd be in the gym like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
We are fucking we are leash on like
And then we're like, "Wait a minute, whoa, fuck man." So like, see those videos, like I think that just makes it so much better, because it will just play into that. Like, but again, it just started snowballing. I remember, like I said, I was coming back from Moab, shitting bricks, and then before you know it, like members were flying. Like people wanting to sign up was like euphoric. It was happening at such a crazy rate. I was looking about going, what the fuck is happening here? And it's just what we needed. But I remember grafting for it, and the graft was getting paid. Like that's just what happened. I was grafting. I was Instagram stories relentlessly post. I was throttling it down every follower that I had. We're in here training at this time. This is what's happening. This is how I'm training. I'm building a fucking sauna in the closet. Come and get involved. Do you know what I mean?
Woof woof.
Yeah, woof fucking woof, baby. So that was happening, and then people just enjoyed it, right? It's like, how do we retain these people? And then I quickly realised, in order to retain these people, for me, I have to better the experience. I have to get a bigger gym. I have to continually buy equipment. Like my business partner Chris, I don't know how many times he told me, no, we can't buy that now. Like slow down. I was just like, more dumbbells, need more skis, need more this, need more that. On Facebook Marketplace needs to be better, because again, I quickly realised, like, instead of this being a business that can pull in this much, this could blow this out the water. We could then potentially have recovery, physio, and just have everything under us. Do you know what I mean?
The dream facility, in a way.
The dream facility. Like, I don't even, like, I've always not compared to other gyms. I always look up to them, go, right, they're doing this, that's nice. I always look at everything and go, how can we just make that better? How can we enjoy this more? Instead of having people for 1 hour, how can we have them for 3? Do we get a cafe? Do we get a sauna? Do you know what I mean? We just get them. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this all with like friends. That's what I like doing with my friends. We all go for a sauna, we all get a munch, and we all train. Like, so why not? Why can't we all just do that under our umbrella instead of going to other places? So that was always the goal. And then just like, you just start, for me, like, I was just always looking up to other gyms and other facilities, and then just kind of chasing after like what they have and how they're doing it, kind of thing. For me right now, like, I look at the David Lloyd, not in the scale of like they've got tennis courts and stuff, but the sauna and the recovery facilities that they have,
the kind of experience.
Yeah.
If you've got room for a golf course,
fuck it, why
the
not?
Car park, the
mini golf.
Yeah, for the cars coming in. Shit, fucking damn right, give me the lot. I think you quickly realise that there isn't really a ceiling to what you can achieve if you really just go for it and go, do you know what, we're going to go for this. And that's what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? I don't doubt we will. Sorry, Alec, the landlord, we'll probably get a bigger gym in the future. Hopefully not too near. It's quite stressful moving places and stuff, but now that I've done it, I know that I can recycle that pattern.
You have the blueprint,
like, you've got the blueprint. I know I could go up and we could franchise what we have right now, but probably do it better and more efficiently, because all the lessons we've learned, right? And I see other gyms with not going to say like less following, but they are less of a community and stuff, but they've franchised. So I'm just waiting on us franchised. I'm waiting on more locations and things like that, because it will happen. This isn't just a 6 month, a year thing. This is 10 years, 15 years. This, from what I see anyway, this is a lifetime of like what this is going to be, you know. I think we've found something really good, you know, through group training. There's something different rather than in JD gym with your headphones in training. Well, for me anyway, community's key to everything, you know.
It was the first thing I noticed when Jord had kind of like brought you to your attention, because I didn't know who you were until Jord kind of said, and it was the first thing I said, wasn't it? Was that
Aye,
fucking
literally it was actually.
community vibes after your
Community
page was wild.
Aye, those
Like,
were the words.
community vibes, I like to say that.
Yeah.
Community vibes, man, I loved it.
Yeah.
Fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's mad to see, because I think as well, we've spoke a bunch about this in the past, and with the likes of like Logan Pauls and all these kind of guys out there, and how you have like polarizing figures out there, and not to say that you're necessarily polarizing as a figure, but like for example, my mom wouldn't go to your gym, right?
Yeah.
Well, she might actually,
Our
but, like,
knees couldn't handle it,
my
man.
our knees definitely couldn't handle it. But like for me, or like my wee brother, for example, or like my mates would see that gym and go, I'm fucking going there.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like if that was
Get
in
a
East
throbber for
Kilbride,
it.
mate,
Yeah.
fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
Franchise number one right there in East
We'll
Kilbride.
speak
Like,
after podcast.
aye. we've got an idea. But like, so do you think that, did you notice that early on and wanted to capitalise on that and being like, right, I only want to attract people like me, people like my pals, or did you want to get like everybody in? Like, what was the kind of goal with that?
It's actually a question we get quite a lot, but the goal wasn't like specific people. It just started with friends, and then friends just grew, and then I just noticed like there definitely is, there's like an age category that we're getting. There's not a type of person, but you've seen it. It's like generally slightly younger, and I think it's just the element of social media, right? People are kind of bought into maybe myself and like the people that are going, and that's just grabbing more people like them. Don't get me wrong, there's Carla's mum who's 63, she still comes to sessions, you know. Quieter session the 7:15, but I cater to her. I regress everything and make her feel welcome. She enjoys it. We laugh. Like she's coming back. She's asking me for a pensioners membership. Like, she digs the shit. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So it's definitely a fair comment, and I can see why I get a lot of messages about, you know, people are intimidated coming into like a place like that, and that's I completely understand that. I think even if I was to come up to your gym, Jordan, I know I'd be nervous. Do you know what I mean? But the thing, what you just need to, I think you need to become comfortable with, you know, that old saying, being the fool at first, coming in and just going, you know, hands up, I'm surrendering here, I'm here to learn, I'm nervous, here to meet new people. And the best thing about it is, you know, like you just mentioned, see the community. I can literally bring someone brand new into the gym. Glenn, this is Sam. I've explained to Sam the workout and stuff like that. We're going through the warm-up right now. He kind of gets it. Would you mind just taking him through the warm-up? Yeah, no worries. Yeah. All right, Sam, what's happening? Right, walkouts, this is what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. Warm-up's done. And then we're going into 3s or 2s, and then I can go, right, Sam, we'll stick you with blah, blah, blah. I think you'll be doing similar weights. Right, troops, this is Sam. And before you know it, they're just training together. I'm keeping an eye on everything. I turn my back, and you've got Jack, who's only been here a month, teaching Sam the movement that we're doing. This is a pendlay row, it touches the ground every rep. I'm turning around going, what's happening here?
Yeah.
People are doing my job for me, all about the room. It's crazy, like it's crazy, and how quickly people they just want to see everybody win in that room. Everyone's applauding people, like, you know, going for a heavy bench. Let's fucking go, Johnny. It's just class. Like, there's no stresses, there's no dramas, there's no conflict. I've just realised that. It's like, just see for an hour, it's just good vibes, do you know what I mean? And for me, like, job one, like, people enjoy that. Time flies, like, people always leaving, like, that was rapid. Like, yeah, it's just because we were on a different planet there for an hour having fun training.
Totally,
like,
man.
we were just lost in training.
Yeah.
How often do you get an hour where you're not on your phone? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do think training with other people has an immense power, and it has the immense power to do that. Like, even just while I was all training yesterday, like, you forget about things, and everybody's just all one person. And this is the thing as well with the beauty of like functional style training, where if you're doing 25 calories and I'm new to the game and I'm only doing 15, but we're working at the same time, we're getting the same amount of intensity out of it, so we're getting the same workout. It's not about like who's winning, who's losing. I think what's probably rewarded in gyms like that is just like work rate and effort levels.
Effort,
innit?
110%.
Like, it doesn't matter if you can't do a thing or can't do toast to bar or whatever.
I was doing it great. I was showing you how to do toast to bar.
I hope Mark's getting footage of that actually.
I'm fucking hanging a lot.
Well, your effort's your effort.
Aye.
But I mean,
Do you know what this is?
Aye.
I used to, my opinion of like kind of group exercise and stuff has changed slightly. I still do have the same kind of opinion. Is that, see, that kind of thing that we done, what you do at your gym and what they do in CrossFit and stuff, it's fucking class because people go and they hammer it. Like, I love that. What I dislike is like see people that go to like hide. See it maybe like a pure gym or something. They just go to a legs one time. The effort's still there. They're still going to try better.
Imagine
themselves.
trying to hide in his gym.
Mate, there was
no happening.
I was trying to hide yesterday.
I was used to wear fucking lying down in the ground.
Actually,
weren't they?
Yeah.
And we're like, that mum will just finish it for
Danny's
you.
so left his body
Right,
for a
two
bit.
seconds.
I make it look like it has. I'm actually alright all
On
the
that,
time.
there was 2 skiers, and then another skier was brought out. So the maths was
really-
There was times I was going within fucking seconds. Like, wait a minute, something's happening here.
the maths was off with that. We hit the 80 calories on it. There's still 40 in that.
Aye,
It's an extra. But anyway, that's by the by. I don't know.
No, but that's it. But it's the thing. It's like, even though like for me, like I love shit like that. For you, that's a wee bit out your comfort zone. But then by the end
massively.
of it, we're fucking high-fiving, had a class time, and that's exactly how members feel.
Yeah,
Innit?
definitely.
That's exactly
Yeah.
how
I was
members
actually,
feel.
no word that I lie, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I was looking at membership.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like you do class pass. I was
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
better go do that on a Wednesday or something when I've not got rugby.
You should.
So you might see me.
Good. If
Actually.
you download the app, if you download the app,
So how ready?
you
how
get
ready
one
date if
free
you want?
credit. Yeah, come down for a free session, see how it goes. Meet me.
I'll keep signing up with different emails.
Crack the code. Yeah.
Wear your Moz fucking dress or something.
This is a vet.
He does that anyway.
He does there.
Does that anyway.
It's that same dress. He does it all the time.
Aye, so you've got a ton of, on the community thing, you've got lots of people entering, whether it be their first 10k, first half marathons, high rocks and all that's obviously huge. One thing I actually wanted to speak about with the whole social media side of things. Now, it wouldn't be, I think I'd be doing you unjust for not bringing up some of the things you like to share on socials. I don't know if you've seen them. Have you seen them?
No.
I saw his belly button. Like,
No, yeah, that's tame. That's tame for the type
tame
of
ham,
shit he
tame
puts
ham.
up on Instagram.
I've seen you
aye.
have a dance with fucking pre-workout or something like that as well. How is that? What is happening here?
Oh,
That is
mate,
a good-
I think I know. Is that the video he's wearing a mask?
Yeah, I've got the dog.
Aye, yeah.
I've got a dog.
Yeah.
What is that? It's not.
Snood or something,
A
isn't it?
dog buff. Yeah.
Aye. I think I was watching some of the Jordan stuff. Before I know it, I was watching you dancing for a fucking pre-workout
With
time. I was
the
like,
cheeks out.
aye.
Aye, what's that about?
What?
Was that before or after the pre-workout? Was that-
Mate, see, like, I think like social media gets half of you, right? Like seeing reality behind that, like it's a bit more nuts. Like
Aye.
I just think like if I was filming like between my sets, you know, when I'm training myself, like you're just up to some mad shit, like just talking to yourself. I always talk to myself, right?
Yeah.
But like in the mirror, it's just mad talk. It's like him, me, and this other guy, and we're just all.
we were kind of talking about this in the car. Like I've been following you all of a day, right? So I had a wee perv on his fucking in his Instagram and stuff, and like you come across very authentic, like and because everyone hides behind masks and they put on this fucking persona.
It's difficult, man.
People buy authenticity. Do you know what I mean? And if you can actually be your like purely yourself, you'll never go wrong.
No,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think people like I try my best and be as authentic as I can, but I'm leaving capturing 80% of it. But you do a really good
I
fucking
think
job. Of like
it's the barrier of you need to realise you're not going to make everyone happy. Like never ever ever quickly realised that early on, and it was like, you know, if you, for me, everyone that I follow on social media is who I don't mind consuming.
Yeah.
Anyone, like if I see one post, I'm like, I don't really like that, I'll just unfollow. Do you know what I mean? And everyone should follow that. They shouldn't sit and get wound up over people's posts. If I say something that you don't enjoy, just unfollow me, mate. Like
Aye.
fuck off.
But that's the thing. Everything you post will either trigger or inspire someone.
Yeah, for sure. I would like to think like it's more inspiring,
No.
and I think though when you are triggering and you're getting that publicity, all publicity is good publicity, you know. So bring that to the brand and like get some triggered folk. You're always gonna. So it's good to like fucking ruffle some feathers.
Aye, 100%. But I think you're right in saying that. But both of your points there about how being truly authentically yourself, I think, has actually helped drive the community and all that even further.
Yeah.
And that's why for a lot of other coaches out there might look at you and be like, mate, he's just opened a gym, now he's opening another gym, now he's fucking on a podcast talking about opening another one that was happening here. And I think
Mini golf.
they're seeing your growth and comparing it to theirs, and even mine being like, how the fuck's he doing it so fast? But I do think that because you're so authentically yourself, it just seems like it's faster, but that's actually the pace that
because you attract your tribe, you attract people that are that kind of same kind of crazy as you.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's some
do you know what I mean?
nutters in my gym. There's crazier people in the gym than me, you know what I mean? And I look at them going,
Hey, that cunt.
fuck, being this
You crazy.
Is this fucking
jinx him.
Aye.
It's a compliment.
It's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
Fuck it,
It's a
I'll
fucking good
take
thing.
that. I'll take
Like
that.
an example is I remember doing like our female only sessions, our first couple of female only sessions, flying 25 people in this tiny wee lockup. Made the Instagram post. I'm like, right, okay. Doghouse turns the bitch house. People are like, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. Say that. Next week, I've got girls coming in going, bitches are here. I'm like, fucking money, man. Couldn't get it. People are too uptight. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Aye.
fucking.
In fact, I seen that in one of the videos because obviously got a video guy coming in who's been hitting out with some sick content as well.
Josh.
Shout out Josh.
Monument Media.
Aye,
Yeah.
Josh has been doing a good job with your socials and stuff like that. And I think that when you were talking about it, it's like, this is the doghouse, and then a couple of girls come in, like, here comes another couple of bitches now. And then you'd think that if you were a gym owner, another gym owner,
You should
like,
not have said that.
Don't say that.
Yeah, but we're just howling and then on we go. It's just like people get it. I think like as well, like we're attracting the same pattern, we're attracting the same energy. You know what I mean? Like during sessions, I'm calling people fucking cunts. Have I stepped over the line during some sessions? Of course I have. I've reeled it in. I've apologised. Like it's all learning again. Like it's customer service at the end of the day. Each individual's going to take what you say differently.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot of it's like, you know, if I'm dealing with a session, there's 30 people, you've got could be a difference of 30 opinions of what as well.
Yeah.
I've always touched buttons. I remember through high school with teachers like touching buttons. So meeting new people, I will test the boundaries and then kind of try and find out, right, where can I lie here? What's going to make them laugh? What's kind of insulting to them? Do you know what I mean? You just kind of need to do it. I think if you play in the grey area with everyone, they're going to be like, why is he off? Why is he so coldish? You know, and it just won't work. So try and find out everyone's energy for everyone else and just kind of use that to benefit, you know. Get those wee bits of jokes and patter when you're down training with them and stuff, or giving them advice, and just let it go. You're always going to make mistakes in it, so just learn from them, or try to at least.
Yeah. Do you think that has there been any point or any phase where you've been like afraid to make some of those mistakes, or do you just act on how you feel, trust your instincts, and then see what happens after it, kind of thing?
And no, I think like I've definitely went in with this like we are going to like mess this up a lot, and hopefully we do, because you're going to learn. Thankfully, like I've not made any like massive mistakes with business or like how I've treated people and stuff like that, you know, some slight hiccups, but I've got a team around me. So in the company I've got myself, my best mates Chris and Steve. They kind of help with the background stuff, and then the gym's kind of mine. So like throughout business and stuff, I've always had them as my two big brothers just to guide me and advise me, and we just would not be anywhere near where we are without them. So it's been such a team effort. I like to think like I've been boots on the ground and they've been the two guys up there kind of looking out for me. So that's how like a lot of people might just look at it and go, Thomas has done. It's not like there's been a team. And then you talk about the renovations for the gyms, it's been all my mates like lending hands here. Do you know what I mean? Like even my friends gave me a small personal loan before, like paid that back. Like all of that stuff could not be done without so many people around me. You're talking like 20, 30 people. So where people might look at it and go just an individual or just 3 people, nah, this has been everyone. And then it's all the members who still decide to come back. It's way more than just a couple of people.
It's been a pack.
For sure.
It's a pack, mate.
Hey, I like what you fucking done there.
Definitely, mate.
No, that's incredible, and I think that social media can give that kind of disguise where like it is just that person, is just that thing. And even like within our businesses, even though we don't own gyms, there's still like small wee teams involved, whether it be like mentors or even your partners or your pals helping you out with certain things, media guys, all these sorts of things. So there's a fucking lot at play, which is mad. But kind of coming into it, and we kind of spoke about this a wee bit at the start and a wee bit halfway through, like what your next sort of vision is for Pat. Like, do you see that clearly in like 5-10 years I want to be here, or are you just kind of seeing what happens?
I do see it. I know it can go a couple of different ways. For me, as much as it's running a gym now, it's running a business. It's time to like boost business and maximise profits and stuff like that, retain members, make sure members are happy, just improve customer experience, you know. For me, like, I would rather have a consistent 110 members than like maybe peak at 140, back down to 100, blah 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 blah, and have these. For me, then I'm going like, why are they not satisfied? So really find something that's going to retain people, make them happy, and make them enjoy it all year round. Like, it's a membership at the end of the day, right? So we want consistency, like that breeds consistency, a membership first and foremost, and then just start pushing the boundaries. Like, I'm all about, again, like, bring it back to like Run Club, and people ask me to get into running. The reason I started this was to fill them with belief and to push them to do different things, 10k, marathons, high rocks, you know. You still get it every day in the gym. No, I couldn't do that. And then before you know it, 3 months later, we're doing that. So just keep pushing it, showing people what's actually possible. Because I know on the back of that, it just expands and translates into their life, their work life, their relationships, and just helps them grow as a person. I believe like so much stuff starts in the gym with personal growth, and then that just helps them bleed into other things and just improves their life overall. Like, just building like monsters in the gym, for sure. So in terms of business, like, just really like maximise the space we've got. You've never got to see upstairs. We've still got a big empty space upstairs. I'd quite like to get some like maybe physios in there and stuff like that, again, to improve the overall experience. Do you know what I mean? If anyone's got any recovery needed, or like massage or injuries that come upon, you know, we've got that upstairs. We
Straight
don't
up the stairs.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Get you up the stairs.
Because for me, at the end of the day now, we're breeding like athletes. People are going for half marathons, people are going for ultras and stuff like that. So it's serious. It's 7 days a week, like, thinking about not their job, not their house, but like this fucking massive goal that we've got to get going. So want to be able to provide as much as we can to help benefit and reach their goals, you know what I mean?
Amazing.
So
Love that.
let's try and hit that.
Love that.
Amazing.
And you kind of finish up quickly. I know it's going over time, but at the end of every podcast, I guess we ask the guest.
All the guests we've had on.
We've had a lot, right?
We've had three.
The third or the
You're fourth.
You're the
Let's
fourth.
go.
Well,
Here we go.
we had two at once.
So basically, what would you say is like your biggest lesson that you've learned, and can you share it?
Biggest lesson is that life is too short at any time, at any point, you know. Things can be taken away from you. So don't take things for granted. If it's a person or if it's something, you know, enjoy it, nurture it, make sure to show the love. Don't get caught up in nonsense when, you know, there's some purities around you that really need you, you know. That was a big one for me, for sure.
Like, love
Thanks,
it.
mate. Brilliant.
Love that, man.
Excellent.
Anything you want to plug or say or whatever?
Can the mic pick me up right now? Shout out the fucking doghouse, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thanks. Cheers, guys. Peace.
Nice
Cheers,
one.
man. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, bro.
Cheers, brother.
That was class, man.